Second and goal from inside the 5. Throwing is Cousins. Rager catches it left side. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. Now a second timeout called for by the defense, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So backed up to the 6 now. Third and goal. Here's Cousins. And that nearly intercepted. Well, for a guy known for his hands defensively, that's a ball he probably thinks he should have come up with. But instead, it's fourth down. Joseph's got it. And they take a 17-14 lead. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of 6s back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. The false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. Throwing is Hurts. And this one complete to Smith. And he'll get this one way in just shy of the 45-yard line. On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. Open man is Goddard, the tight end. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And it's second down. Hurts going to give it to Sanders on the option. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Hurts sets up to throw it. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. There he goes, right side. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
That was a nice catch, and not by the guy you thought it was going to be. How about the defender turning into an offensive player as soon as the ball hits his hands, and off he goes, off to the races, and into the end zone.
Joseph connects on the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead.
Eagles 14. Greg Joseph to kick off for Minnesota.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
The Eagles will take their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. A big play to start him out. Has him at the 45 already. Off the play fake. Here's Hurts. Airing it out deep for Smith. And this is dropped. Oh, It's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
Right up to that point, I was about to say he's had a pretty good half catching the football, but let's just be honest about it. He should have caught that one.
And he knows that. That was one right in his breadbasket and one he normally catches. They'll fake the give to Sanders, and now Hurts. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
So now 3rd and 10. They had the big play to start the drive, but 2 incompletions since. An option handoff given to Sanders. Oh, he's got some breathing room. So we are at halftime here on a Monday night. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. Nwangu now from his end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They've reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner.
Yeah, they went into the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
On second down, Cook. Oh, and now some space to operate. He's got this almost to the 40 before going out. 12 yards there. First down, Vikings.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Smith, the man in motion left. First down, here's the run with Cook. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Here's a quick throw caught by Smith. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. First target, first catch, and a first down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Vikings are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line. Wow, so wipe out the INT roughing the passer. What a disaster.
An absolute disaster, and you hope their lockers are not right next to each other for the postgame. Safe to say one is not buying the other dinner.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Cousins gives way to Cook. Fletcher Cox there for the tackle.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 47 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but There are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he's strong. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. T.J. Hawkinson, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Vikings take the interception on defense and convert it into 6 points. Joseph connects on the extra point, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
An attempt at a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Hurry!
Here's Hurts to throw. Looking right side, and that's complete to Watkins. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12. And that was a heck of a play there on the outside.
Partner, sometimes I think on a play like this as a corner, you've got to think to yourself, all I've got to do is slow him down so others can come over and support. But in this case, he said, forget that. I've got this. Sorry you had to make the run for nothing, fellas.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Hurts. And that is incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
Here's Brett Kern now, standing just outside his own goal line. A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. Play clock down to 3, and we're going to get a timeout here. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. I think they're just a product of trying to buy themselves 5 extra yards.
And they want to help their punter out, right? Help with the angle, trying to pin the ball deep. That's exactly what they did there.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. Play action now. Cousins. Complete. Jefferson the target. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
Now Cook running right, and he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. Hassan Reddick coming through with a stop there and a tackle for loss to boot. Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss.
Hey, receiver. Yellow.
To throw is Cousins. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Jordan Davis in there to record the 2nd sack of his young NFL career.
It's not hyperbole to say that big man Jordan Davis is one of the best athletes we've seen at the NFL Combine. No one should test that well at his size. At Philadelphia, they're looking to increase his pass rush potential.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. And that will extend their lead even further. So 3 more points tacked on, and this margin getting more comfortable by the minute.
And with the lead where it is, you can actually feel good about field goals. We talk all the time about scoring 6s, not 3s. But in this case, they're just looking to chew up some time and come away with points.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked by Tarvarius Moore. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over. They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but It's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. 53 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook with his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Vikings are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this third quarter. Joseph connects on the extra point, and that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 30. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. They'll set up to throw. This will be caught once again by Brown. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Sanders here as they run out of the gun. He'll get this up to the 47 and brought down there.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
Ready.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
19 sight. 7 Pirates.
They go play action with Hurts. He's going deep for Brown. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
They'll probably spend a little extra time dissecting the game film after this one. I think the part of their plan was to hit them over the top of the deep ball. They've been unsuccessful all night.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. They'll set up a throw. And Hurts is intercepted, his 3rd of the game. And the Vikings are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. And that's now a half dozen interceptions for him over the last 2 games. Because CD, remember, he threw 3 in the last ball game and now 3 more here.
And the way that you present it, partner, I'm not sure what sounds worse, right? Half a dozen over the last 2 games or 3 the last game, 3 this game. Either way, it's way too many. And that's something they'll have to work on, hoping to get through the rest of this game without having to address it again.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. A CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue.
This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. Elliott on for the extra point. And the lead is down to 20. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away.
Pulls it in at the 13. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And that pick six a moment ago doesn't change things too much. They still seem pretty comfortable with a 3-possession fourth-quarter lead. Back to it after the pick six. Cousin. He's got a man complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
67 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
And the 3rd interception thrown by Cousins. And the Eagles are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. So the ball changing hands on the interception, but meanwhile here we do have an injury on the play. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Hurts. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. And the Vikings are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. But with the points that we've seen scored, neither defense has been at their best, but these guys, they've been a little bit better, Charles, and a nice interception there.
Yeah, you're right about that, Brandon. Let's face it. It's not always how you start, it's how you finish, right? So maybe you have a rough game all the way along. If you make a big play like that at the right time, it can make everything turn out just okay.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Cousins now.
Swinging this out wide here for Cook. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
And so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one. I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. This will be fielded at the 17. A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yep. And now here is another interception. And the Vikings are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that.
Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. They overload him that time with a safety blitz, and he winds up being dropped for a loss of 7.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was the strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Cousins. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line.
One side gets an interception, but their defense comes on the field and picks them right back up by getting a pick of their own.
And I think you saw the same thing that I did, Brandon. As he ran off the field after making that play, we saw his quarterback seek him out and offer a personal thank you to bail him out a little bit as the offense takes the field again.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he's got it. Touchdown.
Devontae Smith.
A 24-yard touchdown.
And the Eagles have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th.
Elliott good on the extra point, and that cuts this lead down to 13. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete.
And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
Now that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back and maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on first down. They're ahead of the chains now.
The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as it'll come with an even 90 seconds remaining on the clock. They give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be 3rd and about the length of the football. They run with Cook. He's been busy tonight. And he is going to have the first down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Things looking much rosier for them here in week 2. They work with the lead as they've got it 1st and 10.
And my goodness, another interception.
Boy, they give him what again, Charles? 5 interceptions in this game. You rarely see this, maybe a couple of times in a season, but this defense, they've been fantastic.
It's certainly an example of watching a defense that is in the zone, right? We use that term so often, but most of the time, it's for people who are on offense. In this case, it's a defense as a whole, all locked in with each other, all ready to go.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. 12 yards there as they move the chains. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Play action. Here's Hurts.
He'll rifle this one deep right side.
And this ball incomplete. Looked very much to be a catchable ball and could not hang on. Second down coming up.
Here we go. 18 Randall.
Back to throw. This is caught. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped it to 1. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially.
On the check.
They'll try to run with Sanders. And he takes this one into the end zone. And all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter. Elliott good with a PAT. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. So here we go, 45 seconds left, and things are boiled down to this onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
2nd and 12, and you'd have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming. Cousins here to throw. And he's got his man. Oh, no, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles.
He's got room at the 30. Down the sideline he goes.
And we are tied. They return it to the house. And now Charles, the extra point, can give them the lead.
And they did it on defense. What a play.
The offenses have success. You could say they've run wild a little bit. Time for the defenses to get into the act, and one does here.
Nothing like a little bit of revenge for the defense. They've had to deal with it all game long. Both offenses going up and down the field. How about it when they take the ball away and take it to the other end zone?
A very important extra point there, up and good. And that is going to put them on top by a point, and it sets us up for quite a finish. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right,
throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Here's Cousins.
Completes this to Jefferson. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. Cousins.
Open right side, complete to Rager. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed, too.
And this one is right down Broadway. And it'll be a fun time in the Twin Cities tonight. The Vikings win it.